The Atlanta Fed just announced GDP growth is a blistering 5.5%, meaning we are currently growing faster than China. Will Chinese have to teach their kids English? New numbers from the Trump-hating Fed admit we are in a Reagan-level boom, even as legacy media keeps pimping the Trump depression. Such as growth, unemployment's down to 4.4%, wages are up nearly 4% on the year. Even inflation is down below 2% as the economy grows even faster than Congress can spend it. Challenger Gray says layoffs are at the lowest since 2022, so much for the AI job demolition. Services, which make up 80% of American jobs, are actually accelerating. Then the big one, productivity growth. This is the most important number for economists because it's literally how you get rich. It's currently running higher than 90% of the time since Reagan took office. So productivity measures how much you produce for how much you put in, how much capital, how many workers it takes to make how much stuff. It's the gold standard for prosperity since the more famous GDP includes a lot of weird stuff. For example, GDP counts welfare for illegals or Somali daycares. As wealth generating, it counts riots as wealth since you got to rebuild. It counts wars, which is why people think blowing stuff up makes you rich. As Elon famously pointed out, if you fire every auto worker in America and replace them with DMV workers at twice the pay, you raise GDP. Productivity, in contrast, is actual wealth. It's the tightest link to wages since a productive economy has to pay people more or they quit. So productivity captures technology, skills, know-how. It also measures how much regulation is hurting growth, which is probably why governments like GDP better, aside from counting welfare and DMV salaries. Most important, it's productivity that predicts future living standards. Will our kids be richer than we are? There's a big reason why the Biden economy looks so good on paper but was so bad in reality. So over his 4 years, Biden's GDP growth was a healthy 3%, but productivity growth was crawling at just half that, as GDP ballooned with trillions of deficit spending that in some states meant nearly all job growth over those 4 years was government funded. Trump has now almost tripled Biden's productivity. And concretely, at Trump's current productivity rate, it takes just 14 years to double wages, as in your kids would make 4 times what you make if it keeps up. So as next brought to you by I Trust Capital, last year I predicted strong growth for 2026. So far, it's even better than I expected. That's before we get the millions of jobs coming in from a now inflationary Fed and a flood of incoming foreign investment to get inside Trump's big, beautiful tariff umbrella. The last big item on the economic to-do list is affordability. Trump is throwing the executive order kitchen sink at housing, mortgages, healthcare, and food, but there's only so much he can do when Congress controls inflationary deficit spending and inflationary regulations like permits blocking energy. If Congress finally grows a pair, Americans will start feeling pretty good about the economy, maybe even good enough that Republicans keep their jobs in November's midterm elections. Follow for daily videos. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.